We'll figure it out. Hi, we broke into this house again.
Hello. It's we're in the sunroom today. Just so we have like a fast escape. Back doors right there. So like if we hear anyone coming in the front, we can just book it.
Yeah, get out of here. Hey, Chris, now that you're watching, could you get Megatron out of the laundry room? He's eating Anti-Gravity's food. Anyway, hi, welcome to Talk Comics to Me. I am Champenstein.
I'm Heather Hadfield.
And we're here to talk about comics. I did want to start with a non-cool fact today.
I mean, I guess it depends on who you are. For the most part, it is very uncool.
I learned this just for this particular part.
Thanks, dude.
This year, the cops have already killed 213 people. So, just so you know, that's...
Kenny, I was trying to do it on my hands and I couldn't figure it out. 213.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And so, to the most recent ones, you may have heard if you're just watching the news, Adam Toledo, who is a 13-year-old who was shot in Chicago, just so young. And then Dante Wright, who was shot up in Minneapolis for absolutely nothing. So... Once again, I know we always say this stuff to you, but please be aware of everything that's going around you. Please look into like other alternatives besides the police because they're out there. Anything good from you?
Yeah, instead of the police, just call me because I'm real good at conflict resolution. As you can see, I have the therapist chair today. I got my corduroy pants on. I was made for this.
Yes. But once again, please, please, please just take care of your communities any way you can. Mm-hmm. Okay, comics?
Yes, let's do comics. Okay, I'm going to start. I've got Thor and Loki Double Trouble. This is issue number 2. This is just like a very PG-rated version of the brotherhood between Thor and Loki. Just them getting into a whole bunch of shenanigans. Loki just constantly tricking Thor. I love this book. It's so much fun. I don't have anything else to say about it because it's like,
I mean, that's what it is. Right?
Yeah, it's just like watching a cartoon. Mm-hmm. It's like
the
watching...
art is a lot of fun. The art is really good.
No, it really is. But this one starts with the resolution of what had happened in the first issue, and then the second half of them is cleaning up their mess, and then Loki causing more mayhem. Classic Loki.
Good old Loki. No dog killing in that, at least.
No, I think that would bump it up to a PG-13 at the very least.
Okay. This is, I'm pretty sure, absolutely G. This is...
Sorry.
Batman and Scooby-Doo, which I called Scooby Man earlier. And I almost did it again. Batman and Scooby-Doo mysteries. So, Batman's just chilling with the Scooby gang, trying to solve a mystery. I only actually read about half of this because I was like, it was a lot of fun. I read it in the voices because,
why not?
Why not? Why would I not do that?
Which voices, though? Like the original cartoon voices?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
okay, it was like for Matthew Lillard?
No, I grew up on like the old school Scooby-Doo cartoons. Mm-hmm. So like, yeah, that's the only thing that can run through my head is those voices.
Fucking Casey Kasem.
Yes, God. And even like kind of with the Batman, you can just like have in that Adam West sort of like voice too. It's just, I don't know. It's a lot of fun. I think if you like Scooby, if you like Batman, and if you've got a child's mind like me, it'll be a great time.
I like the idea that like Batman is just like, I need to solve this mystery. I'm gonna get some tips.
Let me call up the Scooby gang.
Yeah, let me get some tips from some real professionals. I'll just follow them around a little bit, learn how to solve mysteries, and then go on my way.
I mean, they know better.
Yeah, I wouldn't let Batman into my group. I don't care who you are. You could be the Robert Pattinson Batman, and I'd still be like, take your shirt off, and then you can join our group gang.
I gotta do a little judgment first.
I gotta see if you're in like peak physique for the group. You have to look a certain way, and if you don't, sorry.
It seems like some sort of dentist system situation.
Oh, it absolutely is.
All right, so now we have Chain to the Grave. This is issue number 2. This is it's a fun little book.
Yeah, it is.
I really like the art and the colors quite a bit. It's just a dead guy kind of being chased by his old boss and
who he stole money from.
Who he stole money from, and his old boss is trying to also bring other people back from the dead. I don't. It's a weird book. I don't dislike it. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite thing, but I do like. I get a giggle when I read it.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about it. It's got like really weird tones where it's like once I start thinking I have it figured out, like where exactly it takes place, like something changes. Like for a while I was like, oh, this takes place in New Orleans, and then I was like, wait, this is the Wild West. Wait a minute.
I think it is New Orleans, though.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure they like talk about New Orleans.
See, that's what I thought, but it just keeps changing because then it's just like Wild West stuff, and then I'm like, I've never heard of like a time period where both of those existed in the same place like that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't care for the Wild West stories.
I just don't care for them.
I just don't care for them. Not entertaining to me.
All right. So now we have Batman Urban Legends. This is issue number 2. This is a little anthology book with a few different stories in it. The 2 main stories have been Chip's story about Red Hood and then Matthew Rosenberg's story about Grifter.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And
the Outsiders one.
Yeah, and the Outsiders one. So 3 of them.
Yeah. So it looks like the only one that changes is the second one.
Yeah.
And is it the same artist?
I don't think so.
I can't remember.
Because I would have remembered, what's her name? Marguerite
yeah.
Savage?
Something like that.
Sorry. We suck
that.
at. We'll add us at Champenstein 69 on Twitter. Correct me.
Yeah. Heathen. Sorry, it's not that. It's H.H. Holmes 420.
God, why we're children? Because she did all the covers for Buffy for a minute. Remember?
Right. That's right.
But
I was like, this art looked really familiar, and I really like it, but I couldn't figure out how.
I really like this book. Is a lot of fun. I basically jumped on it for Chip and Matthew Rosenberg. But
yeah. No, I did it.
I'm staying for the whole ride.
I love the Grifter story, like I said earlier.
It's really good.
Really good. I had a great time with it. I didn't know how much I liked Grifter until recently, so that's like a weird thing for me. Another DC person that I'm just like, okay, I'm on it. I like that.
Just get you some like Wildstorm books next, I guess.
You know what? I'll do it.
Just deep dive.
I'll do it. Okay. I have Thor. This is issue number 14. This is the finale for the Prey story arc. Donald Blake is beaten, and Thor gives him to Loki for proper punishment, which is just beautiful. Like I was saying, everything, like Thor gives him a lecture on how he wouldn't like actually hurt his brother because he, despite everything, he still loves him and stuff, and I just like that. How he's like making this speech and Loki's in the background like, are you serious? And then Loki's like, yeah, you want me to lie to you right now? I'm going to take him, I'm going to put him with my snake. If you know the story of Loki and Sagan, you know the snake and the punishment and stuff. Donald Blake gets that, and he acquires the name of God of Lies now. So
interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. This is probably my favorite Thor issue that Donny Cates has written. I really, really enjoyed this. I'm very picky about who writes Loki. Like if it's not a kid's comic, then I'm like just very picky about it. And Donny Cates nailed it.
Yeah, I think like, and I know this is a little bit of a rant in a different direction, but like I don't find Donny Cates to be a bad writer.
No, not at all.
I think he just gimmicks himself too much sometimes, where he just like kind of, it's almost like a Tom King thing where he finds himself in this like hole and he's just like, all right, I'm just gonna come on, this is what I'm like comfortable with, and but he has this ability to do other things and be like full, because I feel like you haven't had any of the same issues with like the Thor issues that I have with like other Donny Cates works. Or even the problem we had with crossover,
Right. I don't know. The thing, I totally forgot to turn the light on. I set it up, plugged it in, and did not even turn it on. Looks like we're in a sunroom.
It's fine.
Anyway, what I was going to say was, sometimes I feel like I'm too hard on him, but it's, to me, the way that I read it is he is very pretentious, but like doing it as a joke, but it doesn't come off as a joke, it just comes off pretentious.
Yeah, I can get that. I can see that for sure.
I'm also like way more goth than him, so that's always just really bothered me. So, Donny Cates.
Goth off.
Goth off, we're doing it.
Okay, so then I have Spider-Man Spider's Shadow. This is the new Chippy Chip book.
My best friendship.
My best friendship. Our best friendship. This is a 4-part little story about what if Spider-Man decided to keep the Venom, the symbiote suit, and like become Venom, basically.
He'd be way cooler.
We'll find out.
Mm-hmm. I love a good bad guy.
I think that's exactly what we're gonna get. This was really exciting. I've been looking forward to this book quite a bit. I really loved the Spider-Man life story, so it's kind of like a different take on that. Mm-hmm. I really loved the art for this book quite a bit. The colors in some places really weren't necessarily, like the shadowing here with one of the scenes was not my favorite.
Who does the colors in that one?
Matt Hollingsworth, which I thought was weird because usually I particularly like his colors, but and just like, and it's literally just in some parts where I was just like, this doesn't quite like look right.
Ooh, sorry.
So it's still really great. My favorite part about this was the author's note where Chip is like, yo, dogs, we're bringing back what ifs, but we're bringing them back as little like mini-series.
Wow.
So instead of little like one-off, like, you know, how what ifs are traditionally just like one issue and done, they're bringing them back as like, sorry, I didn't mean to touch you, like the life story stuff, or like this, and then Chip designed the logo. I'm a sucker for what ifs, so I am like super stoked on this because I like there's something cool about what if stories, and I always love, I don't know, the thing about, you know, what if stories as well is they're not like canon,
right?
So it's not like, you know, where we're getting like 20 different like Spider-Man stories anyway, and all of that's somehow canon. Like what if stories are just some like other thing in their whole own.
Sorry, I was just like agreeing, and then I was like, yeah, like that issue of what if Jane Foster became Thor, and I was like, wait, that
actually happened.
They
did
end, that,
yeah. Which is like another thing. Like I think it opens up worlds for like different storytelling. It's I think a really interesting idea. I've always loved what ifs, even before like when I first started getting into comics. I was just like, well, I'll travel into this world, and it was just like, yeah, this shit's great.
I love them. I just always get disappointed because like, when I really, really like them, I'm like, man, I want more of this. Like, I wish there was more. So
yeah. So that's like the really cool thing about that. Yeah.
Hell yeah, Chip.
Thank you, buddy. I don't have the.
Okay, Patrick, hold on just a moment.
Sorry, we're working in different areas, so I don't have any of my stuff pulled up like I normally do. Oh, that's druids. We're not druids.
Are you sure?
You want to become like kind of metal band, I guess.
I thought you'd never ask.
Okay, yeah. Patrick agrees with us. Thanks, Patrick.
Okay, good.
He says, what if should be miniseries, one shot isn't enough to fully explore the concept. 1000% agreed.
Yes.
So that is, once again, the coolest thing about this. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's great.
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it again.
Again, yeah.
Yes.
Which we will.
Yes.
Okay, so then we have Carmen. This is issue number 2. This is, God, this is such a weird story.
Yeah, so basically our main character, Katra? I can't remember.
Forgot her name completely.
Yeah, she is just a severely depressed, codependent lady who's in love with her best friend. Is that what you would say? Or they just have like a weird relationship?
Yeah, I think they have like a weird relationship where... Yeah, I think codependent is the best word to say. It's just like she's completely... Because it doesn't seem like they're necessarily in a relationship with one another, but it kind of does at the same time.
It seems like one of those situations where, like, he was her only friend for so long, and then she became, like, bitter because he started making other friends. That's, like, the kind of relationship they have. Anyway.
Something we both can relate to.
Yeah. So she ends up killing herself, and Carmen, who is a weird...
basically Grim Reaper.
Yeah, Grim Reaper is kind of letting her figure it out on her own, giving her like the space and stuff and the tools, I guess, to kind of like
see
the world from this angle, so she can adjust to it, I guess. It's great.
Yeah, no, it's really, like, the first issue was oddly off-putting, but still, like, drew me in, but, I like, there's something really, like, I don't know about this particular issue, it just, like, hit in a very, like, way that seemed right.
It was really heavy, because it does, you know, obviously deal with suicide and that kind of stuff, but just, like, death in general, too.
The colors and art are just so good.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
This book is weird, and I love it.
Yeah. So this is a book we both picked up just the first issue, right? We just special ordered.
Yeah, we did, and I added it like the next day.
And then I just special ordered the second issue, but then I ended up adding.
Good choice.
Adding it because it's only a 5-issue series,
yeah.
So I wanted to kind of see where it ended up, like at in the end. All right, you ready, dog?
Yes.
Okay, so we got Autumnal. This is issue number 6. Just trying to like.
This is the climax of the movie when all the stuff starts happening.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I just once again, I cannot speak enough to how much I do love how this reads like a 1970s horror film. Like, it's just so good.
It's like, it's very uneasy because the horror is subtle because it's not like a creature that's there. It's just. It's an atmospheric horror.
For sure.
Which I really enjoy. Like, if this was made into a movie, it would be an A24 movie. And it would be just like it would be like a folk horror movie.
I can see that.
And I think that's why I love it so much, because those are my favorite kind of horror movies. Because it's very pagan.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I feel like the art does so much for it, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... once again, I still can't get over that issue number, I think, 3, where those people were in the background, and it scared the living shit out of me. Like, that is just... It's so good. Like, you just have to be so good at comics, and that's a great comic.
Absolutely incredible.
It's one... Again, thank you.
That was my mistake.
I would have never ended up with that otherwise, and that's just foolish.
I know.
That's why I almost always, like, pick up on Vault number 1, because now I'm like, well, that seemed like... I had 2 books where I was like, I like these, I'm gonna just keep doing this.
I mean, that's the story of my life. That's how it is with me in, like, scout books now. It's like, I accidentally got a couple things and was like, well, these are actually pretty cool. So now I have to get
on me.
Everything. Okay, so I'm gonna go next. I have...
There actually are boobs.
Yeah?
There are boobs in Autumnal. There's sex.
Yeah, there's a cute little yard bang.
Yeah, they've had sex more than once. So, yeah.
If you're into that.
If you're trying to question our knowledge on 70s horror films, Patrick, joke's on you.
Joke is on you, my dude. Okay. I have Maria Lovett's Eros and Psyche. This is issue number 2. The thing about Maria Lovett's books is she usually does 5 or 6 issues. The story plot doesn't actually come out until like the 4th issue. So this is like a build-up, but I don't know what it's a build-up to. Like, it's just 2 girls in a boarding school and they're friends, and one of the girls is talking about the other in the past tense, so you assume that something's happening, but it's just very mundane stuff that happens throughout here.
Some like Cruel Intention type stuff?
So like in this issue, the friend, not the narrator, the girl's friend, tells the story of Eros and Psyche.
Okay.
And that's like it.
All right.
So it's like stuff is happening, but I just don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I feel like that's like, I don't know, it's always been my biggest problem with like her books, is I just can't. It's not like I feel like a book needs to like introduce itself right in the beginning and give me like all of the details, but like I would like it.
I would like it to move a little faster, but that's also why I really like her books, because it is slow burning, but it gives me enough where I'm just like, oh my god, what's going to happen next? And so she just sucks me in like that, because I do really love her art,
Yeah, no, her art is really good.
Yeah,
I don't disagree.
And the story overall, like when it's finished, I'm always left, every single time I'm like, well, that was really weird, but like I liked it. So I always give her books a chance.
Yeah, I mean, as we do with like some authors, artists, like, we just do it.
I've been really into, like...
We're like the Nike of comics.
I'm not even going to finish what I was saying. You can just go. You can just talk about yours.
Are you sure?
Because I don't remember what I was going to say now. You completely wiped my brain clean with that.
It's a skill I've got. So now I have Homesick Pilots. This is issue number 5. I still really like this book. Colors are great. So good. Probably my favorite part. I've just, like... And I do like where they're taking the story. I think for me, like... just really liked the ghost aspect of it and wasn't ready for them to become like giant mechs yet. So
what? Giant what?
Mechs. The house becomes like a mech. Like,
oh, okay.
So if like this giant like thing becomes a tape recorder, this tape recorder thing becomes giant, and then the house, like, she's able to like connect it all together to become like a mech,
like Transformers.
And they like fight each other.
Okay.
Which it's cool. It looks cool. It's a pretty cool thing. I don't know. I really like the...
I'm gonna have to go home and try that with some stuff.
the scary part. I like the ghost stories part of it.
That makes sense.
I suppose, too, there's like some relationship aspect. I think... Okay.
Hold on, let me get my therapist hands out.
Okay. The thing is, like, there's something to be said about, like, communication between people, and one of my least favorite things about, like, sitcoms is, like, lack of communication, or, like, that sort of idea, or people, like, jumping to conclusions because there's no communication.
Right.
And there's a lot of this in this book, which the house does, like, keep Amy, the main character, from being able to, like, talk to her friends, so she doesn't think they're doing anything for her. She thinks they're gone, basically, or like abandoned her. And so she's doesn't understand like exactly what the house has done, but her friends kind of, not her friends, but people who know her, one of her ex-bandmates is like, oh yeah, no, she obviously worked with the house to kill these people. So like she's just bad.
Okay.
So for me, it's just like, it feels like I don't like that aspect of it, like that storytelling aspect.
Sorry, I was trying to read it.
Yeah, they're super comfy, Derek.
They're the comfiest.
So yeah, that's all I really have to say. Like, okay. It's not like...
Is that the end of the story arc?
Yeah, it's the end of the story arc. And it does build up to, like, I think it'll be an interesting, like, second story arc. I think, like I said, that's the one downfall for those type of things for me. It's just like, but you know this person.
Yeah.
Like, if I disappeared into a haunted house and people died in there, and I was, like, kind of working with the house, would you just be like, oh yeah, Champ obviously murdered these people?
No, I would think I blacked out and I did it. I would be with you. Yeah. I mean, how else am I going to find the fucking Hellraiser box? I mean, haunted houses, I'm there. I even go through the kids' haunted house at the pumpkin patch because I love haunted houses. So yeah, there's that.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Home or do you want to talk about Locust?
We can do Locust first and then Home. So I have Scouts, Locust is issue number 1. We both read this one. This is about a weird pandemic where the virus that's going around is turning people into locusts. This story follows one guy some significant amount of time after the pandemic has like wiped out a bunch of people, and he's just kind of making his way through town, killing locusts.
Yeah, that's
trying to kill some other dogs. He kills dogs in this, but there's obviously like it alludes to some sort of cult, like a religious cult that's in it, of course, because you can't have a post-apocalyptic society without a cult.
Why not?
Why not?
How not?
I don't know. This wasn't bad. This definitely wasn't bad. I did add this because it is only like 5 issues, 4 issues, something like that. So I'm gonna stick it through because I'm invested.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
And I did like the art a lot.
It's just a really weird, I guess, concept for a post-apocalyptic one, because it's like we've had aliens, we've had zombies, and now we have locusts.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't expecting them to turn into locusts. So when it happened, I was like, oh,
Yeah, I even read it and I knew that's what it was, but then watching that person turn into a locust, I was like, that's gross. That's disgusting. Can you imagine that thing flying?
No. Oh, yeah, it would be really, really gross.
Yeah. I can't even. I do not abide.
As you should not.
No.
Alright, so now we're just bringing it on down, down, down. We have Home. This is issue number 1. Or I have Home. Heather
I read it. I had to know what it was all about.
Yeah. So this is a story about a young man who is separated from his mother at the border. Mm-hmm. They are from Guatemala. They are trying to escape the gangs after his father is killed. They get to the border and basically they're told, not to worry about anything, and they are separated. It goes into the ICE detention camps, shows them in very extreme detail, just kind of how it would feel to be in one, and then how it would feel to be like separated from like somebody you truly care about. This book just ripped me apart.
Yeah, there is a twist though, which I was very excited about.
Yeah,
the jazz hands.
The jazz hands. So it is just something that is extremely relevant. It does take place around the beginning of Trump's presidency.
Who?
Trump. So they do allude to that quite a bit. But the important thing to remember here is that this stuff is still happening. The border wall is still being built currently. Biden actually just won a court case to take 6 acres of land from a family in Texas to continue building the border wall.
We love that.
ICE detention camps are still a thing. And so, as you're reading this, yes, these are all terrible, terrible things, but they are still happening. So please, just...
It's a story for us.
It's a story.
The reality for a lot of people.
And so, just be aware. Do your homework. As I said earlier, it's important to know, what the hell's going on. Even if it is a president who is, not a giant straight-up fascist at all points in times, doesn't mean they're doing the best thing for us or other people.
You're either with us or you're not.
So, okay. Great book, though. Definitely highly suggest it. Just be ready for a bad time and a good time.
Yeah. I was already exhausted before I read it, and then after, that's why I'm just chilling in this chair and not at 100%, because that book really brought me down to about a 27%.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a good read, but not a fun read.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Okay, so then we have Proctor Valley Road. This is issue number 2. It's a nice little Grant Morrison joint with Alex Child and Naomi Francoise. I'm just going to say that.
Close. I don't know what it is, but I bet it's close.
And, our favorite girl, our favorite colorist, Tamra. So the colors are beautiful.
Yes. So this is just following the group of teenage girls that were trying to save up to go to a Janis Joplin concert. In the last issue, the group of guys that they went to on a spooky tour with or whatever, they all disappeared, so they're being questioned by the police. They are considered suspects in the case because they don't have any proof otherwise, and they were the last ones to see them. So this deals with each of them dealing with that, on their own. And
the police don't think they killed them. They think they helped them
cross the border.
Yeah,
it is obviously around the time of the Vietnam War.
I say they're trying to draft.
Yes.
Dodge draft.
Yes.
Draft dodge.
Draft dodge. Yes. I forget that timing is very important. I said Janis Joplin concert, but it's just
yeah,
it could be any time.
Well, and the only thing I was thinking of is because that's a huge part of this second issue is that the police are investigating them for that specific thing, and then she's kind of but maybe we should do this. Maybe we should help people.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That's how we can make our money to go see Janis.
Why not?
Jamie John Lom.
I feel this issue made more sense than the first issue. At least more didn't feel so all over the place.
Yeah, no, it was very fluid. But I do think that the first issue being kind of all over the place helped set it up, because then we got we got to know each of the characters for the most part, and then
I think it also helps, like, because they're disoriented, so then, like, you're also a little bit disoriented with the story itself. All right, I'll take your side on that. So now I have Daredevil. This is issue number 29. Damn, dude, just going through the Daredevil.
Chip just banging them out.
Yeah. So our boy Matt, he's in prison. Elektra is training a young girl to be strong so that she doesn't have to worry about, being taken care of or the strong taking advantage of her. And then you have Matt's brother,
Pat,
Mike, I believe is his name, working with somebody to do some, like, shady shit. I really, once again, just, like, this Daredevil story has been a lot of fun. But let's be real. I'm here for Elektra, and Elektra only. And that, you can't see it, but that hair.
I love it.
Geppetto? Geppetto? The artist, Jesus Christ.
Oh, Chichetto.
Chichetto. The hair that he puts on this woman.
I thought you were talking about the guy who made Pinocchio.
No, I was talking about the artist on the book, quite obviously. During our comic book podcast.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so now we have the picture of everything else. This is issue number 3, about our artist who does the portrait of Dorian Gray, and this is
murder portraits is what we call them.
And this is kind of you learning about, like, his work with Dorian Gray and how he kind of figures out that his art does stuff.
It has powers, yeah. I really like this story. I especially liked this page, like, in the middle where he's, like, getting murked.
Yeah, I loved all the panels there.
The color and stuff. I just thought, this book is really cool.
Agreed, yeah.
I don't know. I just think if you... Because we got it because of Dorian Gray.
Yeah.
That was it. We just got it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly why I got it.
So, yeah. I think that if you are a fan of that book, that piece of art, then...
I think the thing that sells it for me, too, is just the way it's drawn and, like...
It's very strange.
Yeah. Because I feel like it fits, like, so well with the story itself that I don't. Like, there are points where I'm like, I don't know if I like this, but it's just, like, it's so... I don't know the best word.
I love the blood. Whenever there's blood, it just looks like watercolor, and I think that's, like, the coolest. But, yeah, this book is fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, so then I have Rorschach. This is issue number 7. Just trudging along, just getting through it. Frank Miller's in this. That's all I've got to say. That is absolutely, completely it.
That's it. That's all you need to know about.
Frank Miller's in here. It's I don't know, man. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't know how this is gonna end. I don't know if I care. I think that's the biggest. That's the thing that
I don't feel like you've cared this entire time.
I haven't.
I don't think there's been one issue where you're like, yeah, okay, I'm interested to see what happens, and it's always just been like, well, it's a book, and I'm reading it.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. And I don't feel any different about this particular issue. It's just like I had this conversation with Patrick at the shop on Wednesday. It just feels like, I don't know, Tom King's just hit this rut where it's like, dude, you don't have to do like a 12-issue series. You can do like a 5-issue. You can cut it down.
Right, and they don't always have to be the same, like,
it's
formula.
Like, we don't need it anymore. Yeah. Like, I know you're at least, like, gifted. I give you the benefit of the doubt, even though you're in the CIA. Like, give me a bone here, boy.
I was trying to think of something that Tom King can do next, and all I kept thinking is boners. I think that'd be fun. So I'm going to do this.
You're on one today.
This real quick.
Geppetto?
This is Children of the Atom. This is issue number 2. The group of kids that are, dressed as the offspring of certain X-Men are just kind of doing their business, doing their thing, and Storm tries to get them to come to Krakoa for, protection and help and to, like, learn and stuff. But the thing is, they're not actually mutants. They're just, like, kids who are just very smart. This one, focuses mainly on, God, I can't remember what his name is. The main boy, Cherub, is the mutant name that he goes by, but I can have Gabriel. Okay. It deals a lot with Gabriel. I really liked him. Like, I don't obviously know any of these characters.
Because this is the first time they've existed.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have no, like, connection to him and stuff, but I really liked reading about him. Like, he just seems like a really good boy. And then some of the X-Men have a cute little chat with the Avengers. Captain America trying to Batman it up, be like, look, in my town? Not in my town. But Storm says, please address me as Storm. We are not friends. And I was like, damn, Storm. So there were some good parts about it. I'm mainly just excited because Nightcrawler's going to be in it at some points. And so, you know, I love my man Kurt.
Yeah, I mean, he's got his whole book coming out next week.
I know! I'm so excited!
Okay. And then now, last, we have Wolverine. We should turn on the lights.
We're almost done.
You can't see it, but it's here. It's Wolverine.
Yes.
This is issue number 11. This just continues, like, the vampire part of this story.
I love watching Wolverine just kill vampires. I didn't think that I needed it, but now that I have it, I'm like, yeah, I want him to do this. This is all I want him to do, is just go find vampires and kill them.
My favorite part was when he pinched Beast's face. I'm gonna read this because I thought it was great, and I just talked about the CIA too, so even better.
Beautiful.
So Beast is like, oh, you don't trust me. It's like, no, bitch, nobody does.
Why would we?
And Wolverine goes, you said it yourself, X-Force is the equivalent of the mutant CIA. If nobody's questioning you, you might think you don't have to answer to nobody. And he's just like pinching his cheek as he's doing it, just like, he's not wrong. Yeah, just like, baby, I got you.
Look, I love Logan anyway, but I love when he calls people out for just like being who they are. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I need a Wolverine in my life.
We all need a Wolverine in our life. It's okay, someday.
Maybe one day, yeah.
All right, that's it. We did it. We talked about all of our comic books. We actually read all of our comic books.
Yeah, I was very shocked. I did it all on time, too. I didn't have to read one in a hurry today before I came over.
Yeah, you did it before I did, which is a very rare occasion.
Never happens.
So, you know, join us next week when we break into this house again and find a new place to record.
Yeah.
Who knows where?
We're just going to change it up.
We're just going to figure out. Yeah, just every day we'll just record in every different room. We'll break this house in before these people come home.
They haven't found us yet.
Anyway, go buy comics, support your local comic book store, support your local libraries.
Do everything.
Do good things.
Do good things. Be good people. Be nice. Be sweet. We love you.
We love you. Goodbye. See you on the flippity flip.